But because I didn't have that mindset of financial freedom and like really just financial literacy in general, I fucked up. Like, I need not to have that in my life. So like, I was finding myself. All right, you guys, sit back. Sorry, I had to fix my hair. All right, you guys, sit back, relax, and get comfortable because it's time to have a comfy conversation. Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a series where we literally make the most uncomfortable conversations comfortable. What this episode to be about is just an introduction to what comfy conversations are going to be about. So, comfy conversations are going to be those kind of conversations that you really only have with yourself or your therapist. But baby, we're going to have it with each other. Okay? We're going to start being more transparent with each other because even I told this to my best friend. I'm like, girl, even sometimes I don't even be telling you everything that goes on in my life because I just feel sometimes certain things are embarrassing and certain things are like, I don't want to sit here and admit that I go through X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? But now it's time to be the most vulnerable version of myself because if I can't acknowledge those vulnerabilities, I can't acknowledge the things that make me feel embarrassed, then I'm going to continue trying to hide parts of myself that don't need to be hidden. These are some sticky conversations that really just, a lot of times we don't want to talk about it because it makes us uncomfortable. But now it's time to get comfortable and really talk about it. Let's get into it. So today I really wanted to talk about where the fuck I'm at in my life. And I literally wrote it down just like that, like, where the fuck am I at in my life? And I've just I've been learning so much so rapidly, like literally every day. I can say that God has literally made it a lesson and a blessing at the same time. Like, I've learned something, and whatever it is that I've learned is going to be used towards my future and towards my greatest good. And that being said, I'm like, okay, God, I'm changing rapidly. My mind is changing rapidly. The things that all of these, the things that I think is changing rapidly, all of these things are changing rapidly. But what is going on right here, right now around me? Because it's not changing. Like, nothing's changing. And it really, like, for the last year, I've literally just like stopped. Like, I went from the high of getting my degree to the low of getting my degree and being at my mom's house and not having a job, a high paying job, not even being qualified for a high paying job, and realizing that like my resume is trash because I have not done any internships. I was not doing anything. I wasn't applying myself then. I wasn't applying myself. And I just wasn't like, I basically felt like once I got this degree, all doors will open to me because I have the degree. But it's like, no, the doors will open to you because you're well prepared. You're supposed to be there in that space because you're prepared for that space. And I wasn't preparing myself for that space. So it was a blessing in disguise because God was really trying to tell me, like, if it comes easy to you, you're not going to treat it right. I did not treat my 4 years in college right. I didn't. I was too busy focused on trying to have fun and like going out and making friends. And the girl, that shit didn't even work. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I did all that literally to end up with none of the people who I was cool with in college talking to me. I did all of that and I ended up with no internships, no good high paying job once I got out, and pretty much just floated through there, and I didn't appreciate any of it. It was also like I was finding myself. So I don't blame me for not being the head of the class, for not going to all of these groups. Now that I'm realizing the resources that I have and the places that I can go and the things that I can do, it made me realize like, damn, I had so many resources at my fingertips that I kind of like did not use. And I'm glad that I had that moment where it was like, oh shit, like this is what needs to happen for real, for real. Like this is what needs to happen. Like you need to start using the resources that you got and really like using them to the best of your ability. I hide parts of myself that don't need to be hidden. And honestly, that creates this shame, guilt, all of those emotions that just like are negative as fuck. And I need not to have that in my life. 6:56 on the clock. After I got my degree and I ended up back at my mama's house from being evicted, college student who was living off a refund check and also trying to live off a weekend job while also trying to do classes like microbiology and fucking physics at once, while also trying to figure out what the fuck is the next step in my life. Like, what do I do next? And girl, while also realizing that some of the relationships and shit like that I had in my life were going nowhere and leading me nowhere. And that it was just like thing after thing after thing after thing. I think what I need to acknowledge is that I did the best that I fucking could. Okay? Hearing that shit alone is just like making me want to burst out in tears, because it's so easy to just shame yourself for everything that you've done because you want to compare. This is something that we're going to talk about next week, is like comparing yourself to other people and being hyper independent. I'm so fucking independent, like, and I've been that way since I was a child, like, that it fucks up my relationship with the Most High, because I don't even know how to depend on you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how to release myself from just trying to do something, you know what I'm saying? Instead of allowing you to do what it is you have to do, and me just allowing you to do your job instead of me doing your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, that's something we're going to talk about next week. But I really just wanted to talk about the breakdown that was like, that got me to this point. The breakdown that got me to this point. I was bad with my finances. I did not realize how important it really was to save money. I really did not realize that shit. I did not realize that those refund checks that I was getting could be saved and put in my pocket, could be put towards a car, could be put towards my future apartment, could be put towards my future, period. Because I did not have the financial mindset and the mindset of like I fucked up. I fucked up. I fucked up. I just have to acknowledge that I fucked up. Okay, I was getting, I don't even want to talk about it, girl. I don't even want to talk about it. I was getting thousands of dollars back from school. And freshman year, I didn't have no responsibilities besides buying myself food and shit like that. Where the fuck did that money go? What the fuck was you doing? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck was you doing? Like, what for real do you have to show for it? I was getting my nails done every now and again. Okay, cute. I was buying food all the time because, bitch, being in college, I had my own car. So I can go wherever the fuck I want to go and I can eat whatever the fuck I want to eat. Then I'm going to make that choice. And I'm not going to go to the caf. I'm going to go and I'm going to eat Chick-fil-A. What are you talking about? Flex will be gone like fuck. That's how I knew for real. That's how I knew for real. Like, bitch, you not a good saver. Like, because some of the girls, and I'm not gonna say some of the girls because it's a very rare occasion to find somebody who still got flex by the end of the damn semester. But some of the girls really had flex at the end of the semester, like a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. You feel what I'm saying? Something. I'm looking at them like, how the fuck did you do that? How the fuck did you do that? Even when I got to like the most flex, like the most amount of flex on my card and just a couple of swipes into the calf, I still didn't have no fucking flex. What the fuck do you be doing? You feel me? Like, I was eating my money away. I was buying a whole bunch of temporary ass shit, just doing shit because I thought that I was cute and I had money. You feel what I'm saying? Not realizing you don't have money. Like, let's be honest. That is, you don't have money for real. Like, you got some money-ish. I mean, moving shit in and out my savings account, just doing dumb shit. And I really didn't realize. It's because I wasn't prudent in it, and I wasn't disciplined when it came to money. And I'm glad that I had that realization while it was free versus while it was like, when it gets to the time where it's like, bitch, you don't have the money to be expending thousands of dollars within a couple months on absolutely fucking nothing. Because I literally cannot tell you what the fuck I was doing. I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't fucking know. That money just left. Like, it just gone. Oh, nah. Books. I forgot books was definitely fucking expensive as hell. Books and who knows what the fuck else. Who knows? I don't know. I know a lot of time I was buying myself clothes because I didn't have clothes. I don't know. First year, I didn't buy shit for real. I had bought myself like a pair of shoes or something. Like 2 or 3 pairs of shoes after a while. But first year, I really wasn't, I don't even know. I wasn't really buying a whole bunch of shit. I just had to make sure that my refrigerator was stocked up. And I was pretty good with that. But then when I think about it, the first couple of years, the refund check is trash because you're living on campus, so that's an expense coming out of like your refund check, shit like that, or coming out of your financial aid. But basically what I'm trying to say is I gotta cut myself at least a little bit of slack because I don't remember exactly how much money I was getting. I just know that it was like thousands of dollars. It was money to me, like money that I could have spent doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do, which was like pretty much a bad idea. But I'm glad I got that shit out of my system because being a business owner, you can't do that. You can't just, like, you gotta have money on the side just in case some shit flops right now. Like, just in case, like, say for instance, a lot of these businesses that end up having to go bankrupt or end up getting sued because of this, because of that, or having to stop production because of all of these things. Like, do you have money saved for you to, in the event that you have to stop production? Do you have money saved up for those days when you don't have any more inventory and you got to go buy all these products? You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking about small products. I'm talking about you have to buy bulk of the shit that you need. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad that I learned those things because now I learned those things and I know how to do better, right? So I can't really be too mad at myself for being a child, right? And for not knowing all of the things right then and there because I wasn't taught that. I wasn't taught financial literacy. I wasn't taught how to make financially smart decisions. I wasn't taught that. Oh, excuse me, confirmation burp, but I wasn't taught that shit. So I was just like doing what the fuck I thought people do when they had money. You feel what I'm saying? Spend that shit. Okay? I was just doing what the fuck I thought people do when they had money, spending it. And I now realize that money is an asset that it can either go like this or it can go like this. So the purchases that I made when I had that money went like this because none of that stuff has appreciated in value. The pair of Uggs that I bought, that them beat down motherfuckers, like, it's not appreciating in value. Whatever other pair of shoes that I bought, I don't even know what pair of shoes that I bought. And I don't even think that I have them anymore. I don't know. Oh, yes, I do. Nah, I bought those for my birthday. Girl, I don't know. See, and that was another thing. I have a habit of buying a whole bunch of shit in preparation for something, and then when the thing comes, I don't have no money to enjoy the thing. So, trip to, oh, God bless me on that trip to Miami. I ain't gonna lie to you, because my refund check had came just before it came. I was like, yes. Went out there and added a damn ass, okay? Or at least I ain't go crazy on spending, though. I ain't go crazy on spending. I was just at the strip club. And that... okay, listen, I just enjoyed myself, okay? I enjoyed spending money and just watching that shit fly up in the air. And I'm like, oh. But it's not going to me. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. But, trip that I took to Charlotte, my best friend paid for everything that I had to do. Like, everything, she paid for everything. I love you for that. I'm always love you for that. Because I've never really had nobody, like, just take care of me and not, like, complain about it. But she was just like, look, I don't care what you got going on. You're going to Charlotte. You're going to be here with me. and don't ask no questions. Don't ask me how much nothing is. Don't say shit. Be quiet and enjoy yourself. And I was just like, damn, this bitch really loved me. I'm like, damn, I do not deserve her. That's another conversation that we're gonna have at another time. Hopefully it'll be with the both of us, because that's just a conversation that we need to have. But I was trying to feel something, feel some type of celebration for myself, feel happy, like just feel something. And I was just buying a whole bunch of shit. I bought pairs of shoes. I bought myself 2 pairs of shoes. I paid, well, it was a whole bunch of stuff that I had wanted, and I wasn't going to wait for nobody to give it to me. I was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to make myself feel good. I don't care. But what I didn't realize is I was spending all my fucking money, and I still had to pay rent. Okay? Like, adulting is being like, okay, I'm going to get something that I've been wanting for a while, and that I'm not going to wait for somebody to give it to me, but maybe just one thing instead of like 25 things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went and bought pants. Them pants are too fucking big for me, no cap. I didn't even try to pants, so I just was like, these and these and these, and they're on sale, so I'm gonna just pick up this and that. The pants, girl, went to this place, that place, all of these places, and just was buying a whole bunch of shit. I was buying a whole bunch of shit for my businesses, that like my jewelry business and this and that, and just doing shit that I thought would make me feel good. And it made me feel good for a while, until I realized, bitch, you know what will make me feel even better? Making sure that I have a roof over my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, prioritize, prioritize, prioritize. And I'm so glad that I learned those things then versus having to do that shit now. You know what I'm saying? Because, bruh, oh my gosh, that would just be even more traumatizing. Like, bitch, okay? But I really have to, like, forgive myself for it, because I didn't have financial literacy. I did not understand, like, how important it was to save. And I should have been asking questions. I should have been asking people like, okay, they gave me XYZ amount of money. These are the things that I need. These are the things that I have to do. And mind you, the first apartment that I had, we had no issues paying the rent. We had no issue paying the bills, because it was all inclusive, and we had no issues. Now my second apartment, bitch, I loved that place so bad, because it was like, it was all me. Like, everything was all me, and I was just so happy to fucking be there every day, whether I had Wi-Fi or not, whether I had food or not. Bitch, I had somewhere to go, and I had my own space, and I had endless opportunities to do whatever the fuck it was that I wanted to do. And I respect the grind that Jemiah had. The amount of, like, grind that Jemiah had, I can only pray for her. Because she was like, look, I'm going to make sure that I get my degree regardless of what the fuck is happening around me. And that's what the hell I did. I ain't had no Wi-Fi, bitch. When it was homework due, I would put my motherfucking phone on, and I would make that shit work. When I ain't had no damn money in my pocket, I would go on campus, and I'd go on campus resources, and I would find food. I would find this. I would find, like, I'm a resourceful bitch, and that's what I learned out of that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Let's find some good shit out of the stuff that we went through. I was able to survive that shit. Like, I survived it, and I came out with more knowledge about myself and the shit that I needed to work on. Literally, like, I'm talking about internally, externally, everything that I needed to work on. I figured that shit out there. Like, I literally did. When I was alone and I had to, like, yeah, I figured that shit out. Budgeting, all of that shit, I figured it out. I had to. Then knowing that, like, it's okay to fall. Like, it's okay to fall. You know how many, like, I internalized that shit because I was embarrassed to be like, hey, like, I'm getting evicted. Like, girl, I don't have the money to do this shit. I don't have the finances. My financial literacy is not there. All of these things are happening, like, and I just, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. And I'm just glad that God graced me enough to allow me to be there up until my classes were finished. Like, once my classes were done, and this is how I know God's hand is always over me and his favor lives forever over me and around me and inside of me, because he allowed me to get that apartment in time for me to make sure that I didn't miss too many classes, because I was already missing class from not being there. I was able to move in a good time, swiftly, quickly, sign that lease, which I should have asked more questions. I should have negotiated a little bit more. You know, I should have, did some more research and did really the things that needed to be done, because my leasing office was prejudiced as fuck. They just want shit. Okay, the leasing office want shit. And the apartment was kind of rickety. It used to be Section 8 type shit. It used to be Section 8, and then they stopped taking Section 8. And I'm like, why the fuck am I paying an arm and a leg for this shit then? Like, why? Y'all ain't got no amenities in this bitch. Like, what the fuck going on? Like, y'all got a rinky-dink ass pool that apparently was not even up to code, and y'all steady talking about this shit. Like, y'all don't have no amenities for real. What the fuck am I paying for? You feel me? So, it was just a lot. It was just a lot of shit going on. And I'm just glad that I learned it how I learned it, instead of having to learn it at fucking 30 and having to go bankrupt, or having to, like, literally get foreclosed on because I didn't know how to manage my finances. Thank you, God. But for y'all, people who have, like, for us young people who are actually, like, using these things to learn from them, acknowledge the fact that it could have gone the other way. You could have not learned, right? You could have not learned your lesson. You could have instead had an inflated ass ego and been like, well, it just happened because it's life. Shit happens. No, it's not that shit happens. It's that this, that, and the third was needed to be learned, and you learned that. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of having an inflated ego, just be like, okay, look, there was something that I was lacking a little knowledge, and now I have the knowledge that I need in order to be a successful human being. Yeah.
In your eyes, I'm delirious. Can you find a cure? Boy, I'm serious. Do you believe me? Cause everybody else doing me greasy. So tell me where you're gonna leave me.